what a drag. The king understood my every gag. This, of course, caused some commotion, all because of that one potion.
Cap on refugees by next month. In an emergency determination signed by Biden on Friday, he said a 15,000 refugee cap set by former President Donald Trump this year remains justified and would not be raised. The president did add that if the cap is reached before the end of the current budget year, the ceiling may be raised. Biden previously proposed raising the cap to 62,500, and the sudden change drew criticism from Democrats and aid groups. But the White House says that goal is unlikely. Just over 2,000 refugees have been resettled in the U.S. since October, but officials say an increased cap will now be announced May 15th.
The system and its processing. He took the first step this past week. He will take the second step in the weeks ahead.
The president originally planned the refugee cap at 62,500 this fiscal year, 125,000 next fiscal year. So when he signed the paperwork for 15,000, many Democrats were not happy. When refugees come to this country, it's a different situation than what we're seeing on the southern border. Refugees are vetted in their own countries, then given the clearance to come to the United States, as opposed to what we're seeing on the southern border when people are showing up unannounced seeking asylum. In Wilmington, Delaware,
Maxine Waters travels to Cleveland Center and encourages people to disobey the law. Is that right for her to do so? After all, she's one of these folks that makes the laws in this country and encouraging people to break them. There's something wrong with that. Something wrong with that woman.
Stole a car from here, and when police caught up with him, he began firing at him. Now we're learning tonight that the guy was arrested just a few weeks ago for shooting at his own dad. Sheriff's deputies say 26-year-old Mario Clark began firing at officers when they pulled up on him near a soccer field on Sunday afternoon. They told us Clark stole a car from this racetrack on Amlajack Boulevard early this morning. Just after midnight, the owner of the car was able to identify Clark as the suspect. Cops say they spotted him and there was a short chase. That's when they said he ditched the car and ran into the woods near the interstate, and canines weren't able to sniff him out. Then around noon, they say they spotted him in that same area. He again ran, and when deputies caught up with him near this soccer field in International Park, they claim he began shooting at them. They say the deputy shot back and hit him, and he was airlifted to Grady. 3 weeks ago, Clark was arrested for getting into a shootout with his own dad. The whole incident was captured on home security video. Police charged Clark with aggravated assault. They say his father was acting in self-defense. Now we just got word a little while.
Fire. A canine was hit in the leg. The suspect ran off again, but was later found along Douglas Boulevard with a gunshot wound. He was taken to a hospital where he died. The GBI is investigating. In connection with the murder of Joseph Briggs Jr. Briggs was shot and killed while driving on I-20 earlier this month. If you have information that may help investigators, you are asked to call the Greene County Sheriff's Office. And we have a good news update. Investigators say they believe 41-year-old Stephen Broderick knew and targeted the two women and man who were killed. There is currently a manhunt underway for Broderick. He is a former sheriff's deputy who was arrested last year on charges of sexually assaulting a child. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, a suspect is in custody after opening fire at a bar, killing 3 people, wounding several others. The shooting happened at a tavern popular with college students. Authorities say after an altercation at the bar, the man was kicked out and returned just before 1 a.m. and began shooting. They say the shooter targeted his victims. The nation is bracing for a verdict.
Somebody likes to stack rock. Build them a little rock city here. Location for a show on Netflix. First Kill. It's gonna be a vampire bar. at the Old Shady Rest.